What's going on YouTube? Or Storm here, coming at you guys with another deck profile today. I apologize for this kind of being like a live stream deck profile. My phone has had some issues connecting to my laptop and whatnot. It's got to be sent in for repairs, but it's still usable for video for live stream deck profiles. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys my Spyral. Now this has kind of been a work in progress over the past few weeks because I did have the deck mostly finished outside of Double Helix here, but you know, the ban list happened and I wasn't sure how good the deck would be with drone and quick fix going to 1, but nevertheless I do really like, you know, Spyrals as a deck, and this is kind of the best build I've been able to come up with, so I'll go ahead and bring it to you guys. For those of you wondering, yes, I'm still playing Petal of Magicians, but I figure I have had this deck core for ages and I just wanted to go ahead and finish it and gonna bring you guys the deck profile. So first off, we have 3 Spyral Super Agents. Not too much to say here. Before the ban list, so I know a lot of players are actually bumping this guy down to 2 because he's a hard once per turn. But now you're basically forced to run 3 because you have so much less Spyral targets in your deck now. But he's still a versatile and amazing card. Being able to special summon him straight from your hand, well, after a normal summon drone or anything is really good if you called the card right, and that's really strong, and it's definitely a card you want to run at 3, especially after the ban list. You get the ban list, we have the 1 drone and the 1 quick fix. These cards are limited for good reason because of the machine dupe, but they're still the most important, some of the heart and soul and most important cards in the deck. Drone allows you to stack top card of your opponent's deck, so if you have this and Super Agent, you can get straight to your Double Helix, which will get your ball rolling. Quick Fix is still an amazing card, even at 1. One of some of my favorite combos are if I have Double Summon or Foolish Burial Goods in hand. There's a 2-card combo where you can get your Helix and your Quick Fix loops going simply by having a Quick Fix in hand and a Foolish Burial Goods or Double Summon in hand. You can normal summon Quick Fix, search Drone, activate Goods, or Double Summon. In Goods case, you'd send Spyral Mission Assault, special summon Drone from the hand, or Double Summon, just normal summon him from the hand. Then you can go straight for your Double Helix and keep it going. It's one of the reasons these guys are limited now, because machine duplication is no longer a thing. You absolutely must play other combo extenders and like Double Summon Foolish Burial Goods, but they're still amazing cards. You definitely want to have them in any Spyral list. Then one of the cards I was actually really debated playing, it was 3 Spyral Tough, but one of the things I noticed in when I looked at my Spyral list without this card was that you have so few Spyral monsters. You only have 8 total, with the Quick Fix and Drone going to 1 if you're not playing this card. And I've seen people only play 1, but you know, I feel like it's a card I'd rather just max out on because it's good. Now, granted, it can't peek at your opponent's deck going first, which kind of sucks, but going second, it can bait a lot of back row and related things, and it is another level 4 1900 body that counts as Super Agent, which is pretty good. But mostly, I like having it in here now because you have so much less Spyral targets for your resort that you kind of need, you know, Tough. And worst comes to worst, Tough's another level 4 monster you can use to make Baguska, or, you know, use for special summon from your hand with Firewall for link plays. Then, of course, the 1-ofs wouldn't be a Spyral list without Master Plan, Sleeper, and Last Resort. Master Plan is, I would argue, the best card in the entire Spyral deck. Three searches with 1 card is absolutely in one fell with 2 card with a 2-card combo into Double Helix is absolutely amazing, and she just facilitates so many combos because if you have like I mentioned earlier with the Quick Fix and Double Summoner of Goods combo, you can basically you can then get your entire engine rolling with the Master Plan, and then Master Plan allows you to extend combos by searching the Spyral mission. So the 1 Last Resort, I've seen some builds playing multiples, and I was playing multiples before the list, but I feel like you only really need 1. Worst comes to worst, you can actually special summon it back from the graveyard with Spyral Mission Rescue, or even Double Helix or Big Red, and equip it it can be equipped from the field as a monster as well. So you really only need 1. Same with Sleeper. I was running 2. Similar, because I was thinking similar to Tyranno, because it's a very similar boss monster in terms of being able to interrupt your opponent's plays. But I feel like this is kind of like, you don't really need more than 1 of any of these cards in testing. The only reason I really had the 2nd Last Resort was to give me another level 4 target for Baguska, but now, you know, you have Tough, so it's not really an issue. And I still play the one copy of Gofu. I still feel like Gofu is a really strong card, simply because it's free link fodder and it gets your whole engine going. I still feel like getting to that decode talker is still, and getting just free link fodder is always going to be solid, and especially if you get your play going before your opponent really gets you can basically just, one Gofu will basically just get you there, and I feel like it's kind of a risk it for the biscuits kind of thing with the, it's limited, so you could draw it when you have monsters on board, but it can also get you out of some sticky situations. Then, thanks to the ban list changes, you are playing a lot less monsters, so you kind of have to fill it with a lot of hand traps. You all know these are kind of... So we have the 1 Maxi, the 2 Ash Blossoms, the 2 Ghost Ogres, and the 1 DD Crow. DD Crow is searchable via the Lurelesque Exceeds, that's why you play it. However, there are some combos where I do special summon it from my hand to make an extra rank 1. So there's something to be said for playing Droll Knockbirds over Ghost Ogres because of that reason. And Droll is obviously better than Ghost Ogre in a lot of situations, but I kind of like Ghost Ogre because, at worst comes to worst, it's almost as good as Ash, because if you do Ghost Ogre double Helix here, it will still search, but it can only hand to hand, and it can't get Master Plan to the field, which is one of the biggest things. But this is kind of like if I had the 3rd Ash, I'd probably play it, but I feel like this is just the hand trap ratio I want to run. And for a deck like this, it's not really an issue running this many hand traps, because you have so many even though you have only 1 drone and quick fix, you just need 2 cards to get to your combos. So it's kind of like a lot like a deck like Dinosaurs, where like most of your combos are 2-card combos, so you can kind of afford to run a lot of non-combo pieces. Then, of course, it wouldn't be a Spyral list. That 3 Terraform and 3 Spyral Resort. The deck did lose set rotation, but honestly, I don't think it's really an issue. You could also play Dragon Ravine, but the extra deck space is just super, super packed, at least in my experience. There's very little room for negotiation for, I was originally considering running cards like Instant Fusion and Sea Monster Theseus and Thousand Night Restrict, but there's just so little extra. There's a lot less extra deck space than I thought that was negotiable, to be honest. So but that's one of the reasons I don't run those cards like Dragon Ravine. But I still feel like I've always liked the mono build a little better anyways, but these cards are absolutely mandatory for any Spyral list. Resort is an absolutely amazing card. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 1 next ban list, and Terraforming to search it is always really good as well. Then for some of the combo extenders I mentioned earlier, there's 2 double summons and 2 Foolish Burial Goods. As much as it feels weird to say the double summon is a staple in Spirals now, it absolutely is. You need a lot of times, especially with machine duplication no longer in the picture, you need some way to extend because a lot of times with Spirals, you'll have hands where you don't have Super Agent, or you don't have a way to proc Super Agent's effect, you might not call it right. That's kind of where these cards come in. It allows you to get there. It gets you there. It gets you to your double Helix, which at the end of the day is where you want to go. It just gets you there, and that's why, there are some builds I've even played the 3 goods, but I cut it down to 2 to make room for the double summons, because both cards are really good. You could definitely bump this up to 3, because I feel like it's a little bit better than goods in some situations, but I still feel like you need... these are great cards to have in any Spyral list, and you absolutely, especially with Drone and Quick Fix at 1, you definitely need these cards now, because they're combo extenders. And then for the 1-ofs, the 1 Soul Charge, the 1 for 1, the 1 Reinforcement, and the 1 Foolish Burial for the non-Spyral, gear cards. Soul Charge has always been brutally amazing cards in combo decks like this that like to set up boards, and this deck is no exception. It's absolutely amazing card. You can actually, and another thing I really like to do with it is to bring back Link monsters into my main monster zone that have Proxy Dragon, etc. And then you can create some crazy Link combos with this. And the Soul Charge is always going to be a brutally good card. 1 for 1, even though you only have 3 targets for it, it's still an amazing card to open with. It's going to be good more often than not, and most of the time, by the time it would be dead, it's not really an issue. Then the Reinforcement 1 Rhoda, it's more of a consistency card. I added it in for that reason. Plus it allows me to dust off my Hobby League one. And then 1 Foolish Burial, because Foolish Burial still, Quick Fix is still, or Foolish Burial does set up some combos. If you have Quick Fix and Foolish Burial, you can get to double Helix, because you can send a monster, then normal summon Quick Fix, search Big Red, and get your whole engine going. Really strong 1-ofs for the deck. Then for the Spyral gears for the spells version, we have the one fully armed, two big reds. I know a lot of players like to side this card, but I just like having it in the main. If you don't like it, you could definitely play the third double summon over it, but I just think it's really, really... The thing to remember is it is only good going second, but it is really... I just like having other targets for Spyral Sleeper in case like my opponent has something like Spell Shattering Arrow. I'll target this instead. And the nice thing is, it is a win effect, unfortunately, for its grave effect, but it does allow you to banish 2 cards, the monster it runs over, and something without targeting. So that's really good to deal with floaters, which sometimes the deck has trouble with. And then Big Red is just, some people are playing 1, but now you kind of need 2 is kind of the bueno number, in my opinion, kind of always has been since we got Double Helix. Then for the final cards, we have the 2 Spyral Mission Assaults, the 1 Utility Wire, and the 2 Rescue. Utility Wire is a really good card for setting up your turn 1 plays. Can be really disruptive. But Assault and Rescue, I kind of feel like 2/2 is kind of the right ratio if you are playing Foolish Burial Goods. Rescue is the better card because it can special summon the grave and be used on your opponent's turn. But Assault allows you to special summon from hand, and its on-field effect, drawing cards is never really that bad. I feel like these cards are kind of like this. I just like having the cards here. Utility Wire isn't the best card, I will admit, but I do like having it in there, kind of like as a kind of solidify your board a little bit. Then for the extra deck for Spirals, we have the 2 Double Helix. I've seen some people build the OCG and some playing 3. You do not need more than 2. It is a hard once per turn. Most of the time, if you are summoning the second one, it's kind of to set up your Tri-Gate Wizard boards to link to, to protect yourself and evenly matched. But the card is absolutely amazing, and 2 is kind of the perfect number. You don't need more than 2. Then the 1 Ib and 2 Proxy Dragons for our other Link 2s. Some people play the reverse ratios, play the extra Ib, because Ib is probably the better card. Has more attack, and it's kind of nice having an Ib lock. But, this is what I have. I only have the 1 Ibs, but I feel like these cards are really good. If I were, this would probably be, but I don't know if it really, I'll have to see how much in combos the second proxy comes up, but I kind of like just having the 3 extra Link 2s to kind of like set up boards. Then for some of the Link 3s, the 1 Decode Talker, the 1 Tri-Gate Wizard, the 1 Ningirsu, and the 1 Gaia. Decode Talker is pretty mandatory. You're going to need this to go into your, after you use your master to get off your master plan searches. You kind of need this card because it's the best Link 2 we have that has the bottom arrows. It's easy to get into. The 1 Tri-Gate Wizard, you absolutely need this card in Spirals because its effect when it's linked, co-linked to monsters with all 3 of its arrows, it can negate a card and then banish it, which is really, really strong, and it can help solidify your boards. And it's one of the reasons why they hit Spyral so quickly is this card was coming out, and it was going to make the boards ridiculously sticky. Ningirsu is really good for, non-targeting removal. It does require all Link monsters, but it's not too much of a stretch to use this with, because important thing to remember is while it is a Link 3, you can use a Link 2 and another Link monster to make this. And if you do happen to summon it next to an Ib here, you'll get to draw a card, which is always nice. One of my favorite little combos, the card. And Gaia is kind of nice to have. It's just a generic Link. If you can't, it's a D-Token Talker, and you have something like Gofu token left over, it's really good. Then for the Link 4s, I have 2 Firewall Dragons and 1 Borreload Dragon. I think Borreload is pretty mandatory for like the mirrors and whatnot because it cannot be targeted by monster effects, and that's Spiral's main form of removal. The only really way they're going to get rid of this is if you're going second and you make this as Utility Wire. Not every Spyral player plays that card, so there's not a whole lot they can do if outside of other trap cards they might have set. Borreload is an incredibly good card in the mirror because you can my favorite things to do with it is to snatch their Spyral Sleeper and then use it to break their board. Firewall is an important card as well, but I don't know how much in testing. The second one hasn't come up as much, but I still feel like 2 is kind of the proper, much like with Double Helix. I feel like 2 Firewalls, by the time a 3rd Firewall would come up, even pre-ban list, you probably are in a winning position, and there are some times where I do like summoning these 2 guys next to each other, simply because if you don't have anything else to make, Borreload is kind of like not the worst thing in the world to make. Then for the 2 rank 1s, I did cut Dullahan from the list simply because they don't make rank 1s as consistently anymore, because obviously you only have 1 quick fix and 1 drone. But Princess Sprite and Starling still come up a lot during combos. You need to make them because you can prevent your quick fix from getting banished. And Starling searches GD Crow, and it can pump up a monster by I think 300 attack for every material it has. There's times where what I'll do is I'll target Firewall Dragon and pump it up to 3100, which doesn't seem like it's relevant, but it can be at times. And then Princess Sprite is a really good card for extending combos, but it can be kind of crappy sometimes when you reveal a hand trap and mill it. But it does dig for more spells and traps, which is really good. And of course, the 1 rank 4 with the 1 Baguska. If you can make a board with Link Washes and Baguska, it's probably going to mean you're probably going to win the game. And it's one of the best, defense rank 4s we currently have in the game. So anyway, guys, it about comes to the end of the Spyral deck profile today. Let me know what you guys think of the deck profile down in the comment section below. And as always, I do like to thank you guys for watching. Swordstorm signing out.